What is up? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Guys, for being away for a little bit too long. I was actually out of town last week. Went back home to Chicago for a family friend's wedding, and but now I'm back for like 2 days until I go on vacation again. So, taking full advantage of my summer free from school. So, anyways, any of you following along with this series probably were wondering what happened next with this team. So let's jump right into the things. And so we've had a decent first couple months of the season. We are 31 and 24, so 7 games over 500. I'm not mad about that. However, again, we are in a very difficult division. We are ahead of the Padres by 4 games, but we are 4.5 games behind the Dodgers and 2 games behind the Giants. Unfortunately, we've been performing well enough to be in the second wild card spot, half game ahead of the Marlins. So we have been playing okay, I think. As you can see, our average is not as where I would want it to be. However, our power numbers have been decent, so that has been good. Our pitching has been really solid. So we're going to get to all of that in a minute. However, we are going to first go into our draft day. And I'm really going to try to focus hard on outfield because I was looking at my system like I'm a little bit weak at some of the outfield positions, and then through the first couple months I was a little bit disappointed to see how some of my top outfield prospects had been performing. So okay, so let's go through. Let's just look through some of the guys. I'm not going to have many guys green that I scouted in the infield. Some guys there, but probably going to want to go outfield first. This Rodriguez guy I actually quite liked, but I also like Navarro. So let's see, what about Rodriguez? He's more of a defender, 21 years old. He's not bad. What's Samuels? Oh, I do like that bat. A lot more power, left-handed bat. Good defender, good speed. So Samuels is an option as well. Halpern, I might look to take him in a later round. So right now, Samuels and Rodriguez, and then here we go. There is Navarro. He's more of a defender. We just took Richie Baez 2 years ago, who is actually struggling right now, but he's more of a high-tier defender. Navarro's got more of that makeup of Baez. So I don't think I want to go for him quite yet. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Samuels. Let me go look at some of those guys I passed by in the infield. So Nate Chance and this guy. Yeah, I'm not dying to take the second baseman. So let us go with Samuels, right? Yeah, Samuels. Kind of like it. Discipline looks like it could be used a little bit work, but I think that's a decent pick. Oh, look, we got a competitive balance pick. I like that. Okay. So there was that first baseman. Didn't get him fully scouted, but he looks like he could have some really high upside. We did just trade for a pretty high upside first baseman, but this kid's pretty far away from majors. He's only 19 years old, so that could be a pick there. Angel Reyes, another left-handed bat. I guess I could go with Rodriguez. What's Ken Arrington look like? Yeah, not really loving. I don't necessarily want to take another center fielder because I just took one. Might have another pick coming here soon as well. So he's also 18 years old, 55 overall. It's another development guy. Maybe I would lean Reyes right now. Let's go back. Those second basemen are there. No, they got taken. Rico Alliance. This guy's interesting, but he's 22 years old, and I already got some advanced second basemen. So, maybe what I do? Let's go with Reyes first. Then maybe come back with that first base. Oh, I think that first baseman may have gotten taken. Oh, that's right. I didn't have a second round pick. I forgot about that because I lost a second round pick for signing Devers. I thought that was going to be a first round pick I lost. But yeah, so that first baseman is definitely gone now. Okay. Okay, I'm probably going to be mostly through my pretty heavy scouted guys. So let's see, who do I have scouted? Mostly going to be... So, alright, now I got to rely on what the computer weekly scouted, so... ooh. I kind of like this kid. I could take a chance on him. See what else has been scouted a little bit. I was hoping to take maybe a lefty if I drafted one, but I could do that. So the pitcher there, I kind of like. I don't like either one of those relievers. Infielders. There was a third baseman that I liked that was really low overall, but a good potential, but looks like he got drafted pretty quickly. Okay. Yeah, like I already took 2 of those outfielders already, so I'm gonna take this Piedra kid because I kind of like his makeup. Let's see, he's not really well scouted, so let's see if that pays off. So, I let the computer take care of most of the scouting this time around. You know, usually the first few years of my dynasty, I take pretty big control of it, so I make sure I'm, you know, really going in depth with the scouting. But as things go on, like when I start to be competitors, I don't want to waste as much time on it. Plus, I want to let kind of a little, you know, I usually do really well drafting when I'm doing the scouting, so I kind of want to add a little more randomness into it, as I've already kind of filled up my system. So that's why the scouting is not as strong. Okay, I am left with basically nobody left. So this Smalls kid is interesting. What are they with these catchers? So is this a Liz kid? Alright, so I'll take that Smalls kid first. And we'll just see if... You know, he's 18 years old. I don't really mind taking a shot on 18-year-old kids without any scouting information on them. Is that catcher still going to be there? Yes, he is. Okay. So, let's see if there's anybody left. Not many left at all. So, Robin Frost. Right-handed pitcher. Maybe. What else is around here? Ricky Watts. You know, what am I looking like at third base in my organization? Because I mean, I could just use an organizational guy here. Yeah, I could do Ricky Watt. Or Robin Frost. Although my bullpen pitchers are... I'm really kind of getting pretty deep at relief pitcher, to be honest. Yeah, let's do Ricky Watt. Let's see what he is. So, alright, that is the end of the draft. I'm not expecting a ton out of these guys. I'd just like to hit on my first 2 picks. That would be nice. So, Todd Samuels. Well, power numbers aren't bad. Discipline's going to need work. You know, I would have liked a little bit more. He's going to end up being 80 potential after I edit him and 60 overall. But I can play around with that. That's not too bad. Angel Reyes, I can play around with that as well. He's going to stay 79, 78 potential. So that's not too bad either. Julian Piedra, I'm happy with this pick. He's going to be 77 potential, 60 overall. So he's pretty good. I was hoping... Ooh, look at that. Wow, that's a... Wow, look at that stamina, 97. Dale Smalls, I can mess around with a 74 potential. Perfect. I was looking for an organizational catcher. Didn't have huge hopes for this kid, so I can mess around with that at 18 years old. And then Ricky Watt, potential actually lower than the 58 overall, so I probably will not sign him. So, yeah, I mean, not our best draft. We did lose a pick because of signing Rafael Devers, which I am totally okay with. And not the greatest first round draft pick, but I can mess around with that. I mean, honestly, he's only 19 years old. He's at least got B potential, so yeah, I'm okay with that. So, all right, now that that's done, let's take you through how some of the guys have performed to this point of the season. Brandon Nimmo has been performing very well in that leadoff spot. He's really been quite good since we moved him to the leadoff spot when he was struggling last year. So it seems like a spot that's fit him. Same with Rogers and the two hole, although he's hitting for a little less power this year, but still having a pretty good season. Devers, he's killing it. I'm sure he's probably in the thick of the MVP discussion because, he's hitting over 300 with that 544 slugging, so that's pretty good. Jorge Soler's having a little bit of a power outage right now, and that is a little bit concerning. Slugging barely over 400. Let's see, what's his strikeout? Is he struggling with the strikeouts? Not too bad. A little bit more than last year, but not too bad. Based on balls, look good. So I kind of think he's going to pick it up eventually because he's not doing too bad in the strikeout department. Trevor Larnach has had serious struggles, although he seemed to stabilize. The average is odd for him because he's been a 260 hitter in his career. I mean, I'd like to see a little bit more out of him than that 260, but let's see. Is he just getting unlucky? What's going on here? His strikeout rate. Well, it's basically on par with where he's been. So, yeah, I mean, not great from him to start. Michael Chavez actually did take over for Patrick Wisdom in a full-time starting role because, as you see, Patrick Wisdom, wow, really bad. If he keeps this up, he may end up getting cut, and we may end up trying to go to some other guys or make a trade for some bench players as well. Chavez was actually hitting over 315 or something like that. So his numbers have come down a little bit as he's been in the full-time role. So he may cede some playing time against righties against Brad Miller if he cannot handle the right-handers, but so far he's done okay. Ron Velade was struggling. He's picked it up a little bit recently. Zunino was off to a hot start, but he has regressed. I'm not too surprised with that in the average department. We know we get good defense from him, so I'm not too disappointed. Our big contract extension, Jazz Chisholm, in the offseason, he has not played well, but still plenty of time for him to pick that up as well. So shifting over to pitching where things have been a lot better. Corbin Burns is definitely striking out a ton of hitters and not walking anybody, but he has been struggling in the home run department, which is driving that FIP up. Can't be too upset. Let's see, what was his hits per nine? A little bit too many hits as well, but not terrible. He was a big contract extension in the offseason, so we'd like to see more out of him as an ace, but not terrible. Tariq Skubal has been filthy yet again, so really happy we signed him to extension as well. Sonny Gray was over 6 ERA at one point, but he has settled in. You see the hits per nine numbers are decent. He is racking up the strikeouts. Home runs are good. The base on balls number is the only thing that is worrying me about him, but his FIP is phenomenal. So I am pretty satisfied with him. Christian Javier has finally started to click. See the FIP with a brilliant 2.61. And then Jordan Balazovic. We tested him last year, and he had his struggles, but this year he is showing out. See the numbers excellent across the board. FIP good as well, so we're hoping that he can keep that up in the long run. I was ready to try to do some maneuvering in the bullpen with some of the guys down here in AAA, specifically looking to get Hunter Green called up as soon as possible because he is already 78 overall. He's just kind of hanging at AAA, but everybody in the majors is pitching pretty well. Nick Neidert doing well along relief role. Rio and Ibar really starting to flash. Now that he's out of minor league options, he decided he wanted to ball out. Obviously, Watson Charles pitching well. Justin Lawrence is back in good groove. Tony Losey has not had a lot of innings, but he has done well with the time that he has had. See, what is his FIP in that time? So 2.33. Hasn't given up any home runs yet, which is why it is so low. Like that strikeout number to be a little bit higher, but not bad. Lucas Gilbreth, he continues to pitch well. I'm always worried about him because his FIP in past years has been not great, but this year it's really good, so maybe it's for real. Daniel De Los Santos, the ERA is over 4, but that's a little not telling of how good he's been pitching. FIP all the way down at 2.3. And then our offseason acquisition, Lou Trevino, has been as good as advertised. He has racked up 13 saves, and knock on wood, he has not blown any yet. So, okay. So let's move down to the farm a little bit. To point out just a few guys, Rhys Hines has not been hitting for major power, but the average is up to 280 based on balls just south of 400. So very good. He plays good defense. I'm pretty happy with how he's played so far. Grant Levine, who's not a big-time prospect, but he was off to a torrid start in first month of the season, but he has seriously cooled off. But our man, Michael Taglia, showing up to play ball First year on the 40-man roster. Actually, no, second year because I've had to option him twice. Average is solid. Like to see that on base percentage higher, but man, that slugging, he's already popped for 12 homers so far. Unfortunately, Zach Veen has continued to struggle. Only 22 years old, but if he doesn't start to pick it up soon, he's going to really struggle in achieving his high potential. He's going to keep losing that potential that we had. Ronnie Mauricio, he is not playing very well. I struggle having to send him back to Double A because he's 70 overall. He's got to be able to handle it at this level here. And then Julio Carreras, who's always been a favorite of mine in the system, he is performing okay as well. Freddie Marshall is doing well in a bench role, only 45 at-bats, but he has been smacking for homers as well. And Isan Diaz actually was hitting about $170, but he has seriously picked it up. So he is threatening Patrick Wisdom for a call-up to the majors as well. Actually, Corey Ray is on the hot seat as well. He has not performed very good either. So down to Double A, our first overall draft pick from last year, Wilson Lester, is off to an okay start. The power numbers aren't quite there yet. It's only a month into the season so far, but we should start to see some rapid growth from him pretty soon. Lorenzo Serrano, not doing super great in the home run department, but the average on base percentage looking very clean there. Vladimir Ramirez is one of our draft picks from 2 years ago. Not quite tapping into that power yet, and the average numbers aren't there either. But again, we're only 1 month into the season. Richie Baez was our first-round draft pick from 2 years ago, second overall, I believe. I was very happy to get him, but he has not quite performed the way that I would like to see so far. But only 19 years old, 63 overall, so some development left to do for sure. Bobby Mobley has played pretty well. Drew Romo getting plenty of time as a left fielder instead of a catcher. And he's played pretty well, so I'm pretty happy about that. And I think that is it. We did lose one guy to injury. Where am I going here? There we go. So Adael Amador, he was doing actually pretty decent at Double A, but we lost him for the season to a torn MCL, unfortunately. So, and then to wrap up our minor league pitchers, Hunter Green, he is doing okay at AAA. He's really racking up those strikeouts, but you see he is giving up quite a few hits and walks, which is driving the FIP up. JT Ginn, not doing super great, but he's doing okay. Noah Song was on fire to start the year. Whip looks really good. See, he's cooled off a little bit, but still liking those numbers. Matthew Thompson continues to be disappointing for us as well. Ryan Rolison, oh wow, I did not realize he had been doing so well in a long relief role there. He may be destined to a full-time bullpen role next season, just because he hasn't quite performed as a starter, but he looks pretty good as a bullpen pitcher. Possible call-up options, the bullpen, should we need somebody. Yency Almonte looking filthy. Jose Mujica's looking pretty good. Humberto Mejia has not panned out as a bullpen, but Ryan Castellani actually in the closer's role has been crazy good at AAA, so that's nice. Starting pitching down here at AA, Carlos Hernandez, he's too good for AA, so he's pitching pretty well. However, our draft pick from a couple years ago, Derek Mullins, he is struggling a little bit. Looks like he's probably getting hit around, 37 hits in 29 innings. That's not very good. Howard Fagan looks decent. And that should pretty much wrap up our top guys for starters. Down there, Tyler Batchelor, the only guy worth talking about here. He's 67 overall, B potential that we picked up in the offseason. He has been quite good at AA. So, I'm just going to show you single A roster right now. Guys, I'm looking to get up soon. Buddy Ashley, I'm looking to get him up to AA at some point this season. With that B potential, let's see what else we got down here that might interest us. Probably only guy, maybe Rodney Withrow, just because he's that B potential. Remember that flamethrower of a reliever we picked up in last year's draft? Just maybe to the end of the season, just to see what he can do, but probably not give him too much exposure. So, anyways, that is going to be the end of this video. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you guys probably around the trade deadline. I might try to play a couple games by myself just behind the scenes just to get a little bit feel for the players, because I am going to play the playoffs this season. if I make them. I'm more likely to say when we make them because we are looking pretty good so far. But we don't want to put the cart before the horse. So I'm gonna try to get the feel for these guys and then start trying to feel out, what types of moves I might need to make. The roster, pitching rotation and the bullpen look strong. I wouldn't oppose getting myself another high-end bullpen arm that I can trust. I know De Los Santos and Wanderson Charles are quite solid, but another guy over 80 would be ideal, I believe. And our lineups, I feel pretty good about. Just so long as guys start playing to levels that they can. If they don't, I might need to bring in some guys for starters, but I might need to seriously consider some guys for my bench because Corey Ray and Patrick Wisdom have not been performing the way that I would have hoped based off of the last 2 seasons. So we may need to find guys to replace them. But anyways, in the meantime, in between time, y'all, thanks for checking out. I will see you all next time, and peace out.